Humans are a very strange species. We walk around feeling like we are giants. We look up at our tall skyscrapers, we stare at the highest mountains, and we feel proud. We really think we are the kings of this world. To us, the Earth feels huge. It feels so big that you could walk for your whole life and never see it all. Even when we fly in an airplane and look down, the cities look like little toys, but the world still looks endless. We think we live on a massive stage. But today, I am going to break that illusion. If you look at the real size of the universe, we aren't giants. We aren't even ants. We are smaller than a tiny speck of dust floating in the dark. In the big picture, we are basically nothing. This journey might scare you, but it will also keep you humble. We are leaving our safe little home to face the real monsters of space. We are going to see things so big that they make our own sun look like a single grain of sand. So get ready to open your mind. We are going to a place where numbers don't even make sense anymore. This is beyond belief space. Our journey begins right here at home, planet Earth. It is a beautiful blue marble with a width of about 7,900 miles. To get a sense of that size, imagine hopping on a standard passenger jet. If you flew at top speed, about 560 miles per hour, and never stopped for fuel, it would take you nearly 45 hours just to complete one single lap around the world. That sounds huge, right? But out here in the deep universe, miles and kilometers are just too small to be useful. We need a new way to measure distance. We need the ultimate speed limit, the speed of light. Light travels at a mind-blowing 186,000 miles in a single second. So, how long does it take light to travel around the Earth? Just 0.13 seconds. Faster than the blink of an eye, a beam of light could circle our entire planet 7 times. Now, let's look up at the Moon. It sits about 238,000 miles away from us. That number might sound manageable. We often think of the Moon as being right next door. But here is the reality. The empty space between the Earth and the Moon is so vast that you could take every single planet in our solar system, Mercury, Venus, Mars, Jupiter, Saturn, Uranus, and Neptune, and line them up perfectly in that gap. And guess what? You would still have 5,000 miles of spare room left over. That is how far away our neighbor really is. Let's push out a little further to Mars. Even when the red planet is at its closest point to Earth, it still takes light itself a full 3 minutes to get there. And for us humans, if we boarded our fastest modern rocket today, that same journey wouldn't take minutes, it would take 7 months. Now, let's meet the heavyweight champion of our solar system, Jupiter. This planet is 11 times wider than Earth. Think of it this way. If Earth were a small grape, Jupiter would be a basketball. And when we talk about weight, Jupiter is in a league of its own. It is so massive that if you took every other planet in the solar system and combined them, Jupiter would still be 2.5 times heavier than all of them put together. You could fit 1,300 Earths inside this beast comfortably. But even Jupiter looks small when you look at the sheer width of Saturn and its rings. Saturn's rings are absolutely massive. They are so wide that driving from one edge to the other would be like traveling around the entire Earth 7 times. But frankly, all of these planets are just babies compared to the king of our system. The Sun. This is our star. It measures about 865,000 miles across. It is so huge that you could fit 1.3 million Earths inside it comfortably. But let's talk about weight. The Sun is effectively the entire solar system. It holds 99.86% of the total mass of our neighborhood. That means every single planet, every moon, every asteroid, and every human being, we are all squeezed into that tiny 0.14% of leftovers. Here is a fact that will really blow your mind. Imagine we shrunk the Sun down to the size of a soccer ball. On that scale, Earth would be nothing more than a tiny grain of sand sitting about 27 yards away. And the farthest planet, Neptune, it would be more than half a mile away from that soccer ball. And what is in between them? Absolutely nothing. We tend to think space is crowded, but it is not. The universe isn't full. The universe is mostly just empty space. So, has humanity actually left the solar system? The answer is yes and no. Back in 1977, we launched a machine into the deep darkness of space called Voyager 1. It is the fastest object ever built by human hands, tearing through the void at 38,000 miles per hour. To put that in perspective, that is about 20 times faster than a speeding bullet. For the last 48 years, it has been sailing through the absolute silence of space. Recently, it crossed a boundary known as the heliopause. This is the point where the Sun's magnetic wind stops, so technically it has stepped out into interstellar space. But here is the reality check. The true gravitational edge of our solar system is actually the Oort cloud, a massive spherical shell of icy debris that surrounds us. Even moving at bullet speed, it will take Voyager another 300 years just to reach the start of that cloud. And to actually travel through it, it will take 30,000 years. And if it were trying to reach the nearest star, that journey would take nearly 70,000 years. That is the true, unforgiving scale of distance in our universe. We have now left our solar system far behind. Out here in the deep void, measuring distance in miles or kilometers is completely useless. So we have to switch to the ultimate yardstick, light years. First, let's meet our next-door neighbor, Proxima Centauri. It sits about 4.2 light-years away. Now that might sound close on paper, but don't let the number fool you. Even with our fastest spacecraft, reaching this neighbor would take thousands of years. Next, meet Sirius A. This is the brightest star in our entire night sky. It is twice the size of our Sun and 25 times more luminous. If you put them side by side, our Sun would look like a dim candle next to a powerful floodlight. But let's think bigger, much bigger. Meet Pollux. This is an orange giant star, and it is a beast. It is 9 times wider than our Sun. Then comes Arcturus. This is a massive red giant, 25 times the size of our Sun. It is so huge and radiates so much heat that if we swapped it with our Sun, the Earth would be instantly scorched. Life as we know it would be wiped out in seconds. And now, hold your breath. Meet Rigel. This is a blue supergiant. It is 78 times wider than our Sun, but its true power lies in its energy. It is 120,000 times brighter than our star. It is a cosmic powerhouse, so bright and so massive that compared to it, our Sun looks like a tiny fading grain of sand. But now we are crossing the line. We are moving past the big stars and entering the realm of the true monsters of the universe. First, meet Betelgeuse. This is a massive red giant sitting in the Orion constellation. To understand just how huge this thing is, imagine this. If we grabbed Betelgeuse and dropped it right into the center of our solar system, replacing our Sun, it wouldn't just touch Earth. It would swallow Mercury, Venus, Earth, Mars, and it would even consume the orbit of the massive Jupiter. It is 764 times wider than our Sun. But is there anything bigger? Oh, absolutely. Meet VY Canis Majoris. This is a massive red hypergiant, a star that is 1,420 times larger than the Sun. Its size is so mind-boggling that we have to go back to our airplane analogy to understand it. If you hopped on a standard passenger jet flying at full cruising speed and you tried to fly one complete lap around this star, it wouldn't take days or months. That single flight would take you 1,100 years. You would be born, live your life, and die on that plane, and so would generations of your children before the flight was even close to finishing. And now, forget everything I just told you. Meet the true king of the stars, Stephenson 218. As of right now, this is the largest star known to humanity. It is 2,150 times wider than our Sun. It is so colossal that if you hollowed it out, you could fit not 1, not 2, but 10 billion of our suns inside it comfortably. To truly grasp this scale, let's look at the speed of light again. Light, the fastest thing in the universe, takes just 14.5 seconds to circle our own Sun. But to fly one lap around Stephenson 218, it would take that same beam of light nearly 9 hours. Stars are essentially just massive balls of glowing gas. But the true terror of the universe isn't found in the light. It is found in the crushing darkness where light itself goes to die. Black holes. First, let's meet the monster lurking right in our own backyard, Sagittarius A star. This beast sits at the very heart of our Milky Way galaxy. It weighs as much as 4 million suns combined. It is so large that it could swallow the entire orbit of Mercury without even burping. Our entire galaxy and everything in it revolves around the gravitational pull of this giant. But let's think bigger, much bigger. Meet M87 black hole. You probably know this one. It is the celebrity of the cosmos, the first black hole humanity ever captured in a photograph.
It weighs in at a staggering 6.5 billion suns. It is so massive that our entire solar system would get lost in just a tiny corner of it. But now, hold your breath. We are heading into the most terrifying corners of deep space. Meet TON 618. This thing is a leviathan, weighing as much as 66 billion suns. It is about 240 billion miles wide. To understand that scale, remember how light circles Earth 7 times in a second. Well, for a beam of light to travel from one side of TON 618 to the other, it takes weeks. Is there anything bigger? Unbelievably, yes. Meet a monster so large it defies imagination. Phoenix A. This is a recently discovered titan with an estimated mass of 100 billion suns. It is so absurdly huge that scientists don't just call it a black hole. They have had to invent a new category for it, a slab, a stupendously large black hole. It is a structure so massive it feels like it is mocking the laws of physics themselves.
We are no longer just talking about a single star or a black hole. We are zooming out to look at entire cosmic landscapes. We are talking about nebulae, the places where stars are born. First, take a look at one of the most famous photos in space history, the Pillars of Creation. Found inside the Eagle Nebula, these look like wispy clouds of smoke, but they are actually massive towers of gas and dust. The size here is hard to wrap your head around. Just one of these pillars stands 5 light-years tall. That is nearly 30 trillion miles. Our entire solar system is smaller than a single speck of dust against one of these towers. But if you think that is huge, meet the Tarantula Nebula. This is the largest star-making factory in our entire cosmic neighborhood. Let's do a quick comparison to really get the scale. The Orion Nebula is fairly close to us and visible with a telescope. But if we took the Tarantula Nebula and moved it to where Orion is, it wouldn't just be a dot in the sky. It would dominate the view. It would be so bright that it would outshine the full moon. It would glow with such intensity that it would actually cast shadows on the ground while you walk at night. It spans 600 light-years across. It is a vast ocean of gas where millions of new suns are waking up all at once. Now, we are pulling our camera back even further. We are leaving the clouds of gas behind and stepping into the world of star cities, the galaxies. First, take a good look at our home, the Milky Way. It spans a massive 100,000 light-years from one end to the other. To truly grasp how huge that is, think about the stars. Our galaxy holds nearly 200 billion of them. Here's a crazy thought experiment. If you tried to count them, looking at just one star every single second without ever sleeping or stopping, it would take you 6,000 years to finish. You would have to count through the entire duration of recorded human history, and you still wouldn't be done. Now, meet our big neighbor, Andromeda. It sits about 2.5 million light-years away. It's even bigger than us, holding a staggering 1 trillion stars. But who's the real king of the galaxies? For a long time, scientists believed a galaxy named IC 1101 was the largest thing out there. But they were wrong. A new record holder has emerged that shocked everyone. Meet Alcyones.
This is a massive radio galaxy. It stretches out for an unbelievable 16 million light-years. How big is that number really? Compared to Alcyone's, our entire Milky Way looks like a tiny speck of dust. You could take more than 160 Milky Ways, line them up edge to edge, and they would all fit inside this single monster. It is truly a giant of the cosmos.
Have you ever wondered if all these billions of galaxies are just floating around randomly in space? Well, they aren't. They are actually held together by a massive invisible skeleton known as the cosmic web. Picture a giant spider web stretching across the entire universe. Galaxies aren't just scattered like confetti, they are strung together along thin filaments of gas and dark matter. And between these threads, millions of light-years of absolute empty silence. Our home, the Milky Way, is just a tiny piece of a massive supercluster within this web called Laniakea. In Hawaiian, Laniakea means immeasurable heaven, and that name fits perfectly. It spans 520 million light-years across and holds 100,000 galaxies just like ours. If the universe were a map, Laniakea would be our country. But the story doesn't end there. Here is the scary part. This entire supercluster, including our own galaxy, is moving. We are being dragged at millions of miles per hour in a specific direction, pulled by something mysterious. Scientists call it the Great Attractor. It is a gravitational anomaly with the pull of 1 billion suns, dragging us and thousands of other galaxies towards it. But what is actually over there? No one knows. Nature has played a cruel joke on us. The thick dust and stars of our own Milky Way act like a wall, blocking our view and hiding the secret from us. All we know is that we are drifting straight into the dark.
So, have we reached the end? Not even close. Laniakea and the superclusters were just the warm-up act. In the deep universe, galaxies don't just hang out in random bunches. They connect to form massive walls across the darkness. And there is one wall out there that breaks every rule we know. Meet the Hercules Corona Borealis Great Wall. This is the single largest structure humanity has ever discovered. It stretches a mind-bending 10 billion light-years across. Let that number sink in for a second. The entire universe was born in the Big Bang about 13.8 billion years ago. This wall alone is 10 billion light-years long. That means if you could fly at the speed of light, it would take you 10 billion years just to get from one end to the other. It covers a huge percentage of the entire observable universe. This structure is so massive that it has become an impossible puzzle for modern science. According to the laws of physics, the universe literally isn't old enough for something this big to have formed. It should have taken longer than the age of the cosmos to build this structure. Yet, there it is, defying the laws of physics and baffling scientists to this day. We still have no idea how it got there.
And finally, we reach the end of the line, the absolute limit of human vision and technology. Meet the observable universe. This is the cosmic bubble that surrounds us, the region of space where light has had enough time to reach Earth. It is a sphere stretching 93 billion light-years across. Inside this bubble, there are an estimated
2 trillion galaxies. And the number of stars? It is almost impossible to say. Estimates suggest around 200 sextillion. Let me put that number in perspective for you. If you went to every single beach on Earth and every single desert, and you counted every single grain of sand, there would still be more stars in the sky than grains of sand on our entire planet. But here is the scary, bitter truth. Why do we call it observable? Because the universe isn't just expanding, it is stretching apart faster than the speed of light. This means that any galaxies outside this bubble are moving away from us so fast that their light will never reach us. No matter how advanced our technology becomes, those parts of reality are gone forever. We are effectively trapped in a cosmic prison. So how big is the whole universe? Scientists believe the actual universe could be at least 250 times larger than what we can see. Or it might be infinite, with no end at all. Or perhaps the truth is even stranger. The multiverse. It is possible that our entire universe, with all its billions of galaxies, is just one single bubble floating in a much larger cosmic ocean. Just one bubble in a sea of foam. And right next to us, there could be billions of other bubbles floating in the dark. Other universes, other worlds, and maybe other versions of us.
Now, let's drift back down to Earth. When you look at that massive cosmic map, where are we? We aren't there. We are completely invisible. All of our wars, our hatred, our massive egos, our countries and our borders, on this cosmic scale, they simply do not exist. We are sitting on a microscopic speck of dust, orbiting a mediocre yellow star, tucked away in the quiet corner of an ordinary galaxy, floating in an infinite void of darkness. Is that a scary thought? Absolutely. But it is also incredibly beautiful. Because even though we are small, we are significant in one specific way. We are the species that dared to open its small eyes and try to understand the infinite. We are the universe experiencing itself. I'm your host, and this has been the story of the true scale of our reality. Now, I want to hear from you. Which of these numbers actually broke your brain today? Was it the terrifying size of the Phoenix A black hole? Or was it that impossible structure, the 10 billion light-year long wall? Let me know in the comments below. I'll be reading through them to see what scared you the most. If this video made you feel small in the best possible way, hit that like button. And to keep exploring the deepest secrets of the cosmos with us, make sure you subscribe and ring that bell. I'll see you in the next video. Stay curious.